welcome to dig number 8 of the Divination Excavation, and this dig is about channeling. Now, channeling is different to me than mediumship. Medium is literally and specifically speaking with those that have crossed over, with those that have been human and been close to you in your life, or a friend or whatever, even an acquaintance. Channeling is more about getting in touch with my higher self and getting in touch with my guides. So that's the way I look at channeling. And I've had a lot of practice doing this over the last few years, and I've come really far with it. And it's funny, a lot of the things that I do, and I've done a lot of stuff throughout my life. Channeling is newer to me, but I've always had a very strong spiritual life with a lot of spiritual practices that, you know, our mainstream society in the Western world doesn't really prioritize as even real or valuable or any of that. But channeling is something that I have found that has helped me immensely. But like I was saying, back to what I was just saying, sorry, sometimes I lose a little track. But the point is when you're doing work like this, I went to hypnosis school, and my main focus is past life regression. I am a huge fan of Brian Weiss and all of his books and all of his work, and you can find him right here on YouTube. He's got quite a number of videos. They are older, but he is a profound man in the field of past life regression, and probably the most widely recognized in that field. But the thing about this kind of work is there's no scientific data that you can definitively hold this work up against and say this is true, this is fact. Every time anybody like me in this world does any kind of spiritual work, we come up against this was it real or not question. And the question is such, the answer has to be done on a personal level. We either believe that our experience is real and that it has real value, or we don't. And I've had a lot of clients with past life regression. I had one in particular, he called me every day for like a week. Was it real? Was it real? You know, and it was direct. It was a direct indication of his conditioning in our society. Anytime we do this work, we are up against massive conditioning. Okay, we are conditioned on a conscious level, on a subconscious level, and on subliminal levels every day. Our minds are being messed with in the age of advertising and media trying to maneuver and steer us like cattle in the directions they want us to go, which I'm not going to go too much in that direction. But you know, I find that stuff really aggravating. But the point of this is we have to decide for ourselves, because there's just not scientific data that we can point to. You know, the work that we're doing on this spiritual level for me has been very profound and very healing and very life-changing. And I sit in my power today of spiritual growth and advancement, and I am the spiritual archaeologist because I love to dig, and I think that all of these topics are treasures to be dug up and experienced and looked at, and you know, we can enhance our lives. I've enhanced my life so profoundly through these spiritual practices, and I'm so glad to see, you know, on a societal level, it's way more about ego and get. But when you start getting one-on-ones with people, when I start talking to people one-on-one about these topics of channeling and past life regression, there's a lot of fear. I get a lot of pushback, but there's also so many more people out there who are open to all of these things than not. And I find that extremely comforting. So if you're questioning and you're struggling with these kinds of things, just know that you have conditioning. You've got cultural conditioning that, you've been groomed to think a certain way for years. And we don't realize the impact that has had on our lives until we start doing this kind of work or doing something that goes against mainstream society values. You know what I'm saying? So the channeling thing, I believe that we have guides, we have people that have passed that loved us. That goes back to the mediumship. But we have guides and angels and light beings all around us all the time. That is my belief. I have gotten help from these guides over and over again. I continue to get help from these guides. I have trained myself to go into meditation on a daily basis and connect with these guides now. And I get so much insight and profound understanding by doing this that my life has transformed big time. And it's hard to find words to describe to you how profound it really is. And, a lot of you, I'm singing to the choir because you're doing this stuff already and you totally get it and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But just know, if you're new, that the question of whether or not it's real is really could haunt you, like it has so many of us. And there comes a point where you have to decide for yourself. Are you going to believe it or are you not? And a lot of people, sadly, will explain it away. They'll justify their experiences away. And a lot of people are very afraid to be different than the mainstream. And I find that really sad because we each have something so cool and so unique to bring to the world. And when my focus, or when our focus, is on trying to fit in and not be ridiculed, then we lose ourselves. In my opinion, I lost myself trying to fit in. I've lost myself trying to not, trying to hide who I really am so that I wouldn't be ridiculed. And I did it for years out of fear. And I can't even imagine what I cost myself over all those years that I was trying to hide how I really feel and what I really think, and at times even trying to hide it from myself. You know what I mean? Because we do live in a society that, this is not normal stuff. Channeling is not something that respectable people do. You know what I mean? So it really becomes a personal journey at that point where, is this real? Did I really experience that? You know what? Go in and get some guidance. And take that guidance and apply it to your life. And then ask yourself if it helped you or not. More importantly than asking yourself whether or not it was real. You know what I'm saying? Just give yourself a chance. So many of us, if we would just give ourselves a chance to have a new experience, to have a unique experience, to have a profound experience, we would advance so quickly. I think it would blow your mind to see how fast you can advance if you just open up. So channeling is really cool. We got a lot of guides out there. We got a lot of help out there. And I invite you today to open up to that world. And I like to breathe deep. I like to get myself in a trance state of mind. And I like to close my eyes in a place where I'm undisturbed. I like to do it right before bed. And I like to do it right when I get up. Those seem to be the best times for me to not be interrupted. And I just go and I allow myself to be led where my guides think I need to go. And I get adventure after adventure after adventure. You got a whole universe inside of you, an entire world just waiting to be discovered. So step into it, okay? I hope you enjoyed this dig. We got one more dig in this, and it will be revealed what that dig is when I put it up on video here on YouTube. So I hope you've enjoyed all these so far, and I'm wishing you to have a very happy and plentiful day, and I will see you on the next dig. Have a great day.